consistent.
Well, and things haven't gotten to a point where these things have been taken care of. But the first one is you've got to play as a team all over the pitch and be connected. You've got to back line has to be connected to the midfield to your front three. And then the other is you've got to be mentally tuned in. And we haven't seen RSL, but maybe once.
Please welcome Ransom Wagner of Zodiac Empire as he performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ransom. Now let's meet the starting lineup of your Real Salt Lake. Captain, number 49, Devon. In goal, number 24, Jeff. Defender, number 6, Boyd. Defender, number 14, Justin. Defender, number 17, Lamar. Defender, number 21, Aaron. Midfielder, number 10, Luis. Midfielder, number 16, Pekka. Midfielder, number 27, John. Forward, number 8, Joao. Forward, number 13, Omes. The head coach of your Real Salt Lake is Chip.
far and the chances that he's had with the first team. It's really going to be, can these youngsters and these guys who are in the lineup able to make an impression on Jeff Cassar?
Devin Sanders, so the game gets kicked off, wearing the captain's armband for RSL, celebrating his 24th birthday, the third-year man out of New Mexico. Incidentally, Real Salt Lake's all-time leading U.S. scorer with 3 goals, tying him with Kyle Beckerman, Andy Williams, and Jason Kreis. That's pretty good company.
Very good. And it's shown why Sandoval's gotten not only this year and last year, but his rookie season because of the effort that he puts in. And tonight, the thing that should separate RSL and Sounders too is the speed of play and the desire to win this game. It's one of those things where MLS squads sometimes think they have more time than they do on the ball and end up getting beat.
As we enter the second minute of play, Luis Gil in the corner. He finds John Sturzer atop the box. Sturzer with the cross, knocked away by the Sounders defense. To go off to the races quickly. DeMar Phillips cuts it off. Tries to get Otto with an ambitious pass. The midfielder from Brazil making his first RSL start as well tonight. Him from the Fort Lauderdale Strikers in the offseason.
No, and I think this is an important man. He played it against LA and got a little bit of time in other matches, but really has not been able to kind of step up to the level and the speed of play that I think Jeff Cassar.
Sound a little bit in possession. You can tell how excited many of these young players are. 7 players under the age of 20 years old on the S2 side, and they're auditioning for jobs, both within their own club and through MLS, as are many of these USL and NASL teams are during this 4th round U.S. Open Cup window.
And I don't think these guys are going to be starstruck by anybody that's on the field for RSL tonight, mainly because they train with so many guys that are on the regular Sounders club and have been around Clint Dempsey and have been around Pineda and Chad Marshall and Stefan Fry. So these guys aren't starstruck by any means. It's going to be a tough match, but RSL needs to raise their level up. And listen, it's not off the cuff here in saying that RSL has struggled offensively, and this would be a great game for them to get things kind of in order into their next match against Kansas City this upcoming Sunday.
Only 13 goals for RSL in 15 MLS games so far this year. And Joao Plata, last year's leading scorer, has been missing since January 29th, just getting back, and he's in an attempt to get fitness. Here's Sounders atop of the box. And with the outside of the right foot, it looked like that was maybe number 55, Pablo Rossi.
Yeah.
Not sure if he was shooting or crossing, but a harmless event for RSL as Jeff Attinella resets for the goal kick as we go into the 4th minute.
I think Phillips and Pekka need to close the ball down quicker and not allow that shot even to come close to being on frame. It's bad giveaways. They're going to doom RSL with shots from the outside. You keep giving the ball away in your own end, and problems persist.
Well, and there's another one. Andy Craven collects the ball, I think, from Pekka Armand atop the box, and he pulls the trigger from 25. Thankfully for RSL fans, it's high and wide.
And Andy Craven, I talked with Ezra Hendrickson, the coach of Sounders 2. He's one of the guys to watch on this Sounders 2 they have high hopes for.
Justin Glad, left center back tonight. We saw him make his MLS debut at right back on May 30th in Vancouver. One of several RSL Academy products in the 18 tonight for Jeff Cassar. Olmos Garcia pressuring and forcing the Seattle center back Nick Miel to an errant pass that leads to an RSL throw. Phillips, the Jamaican international, he'll be heading out to Gold Cup in a couple weeks. One of 4, I'd say, perennial rock-solid RSL starters from this season here tonight. Here's Gill out wide. From the corner, sends the cross in. There's defense slipping in the box, sends it back, and his slow roller just wide left of the post.
This is a pretty good service in from Garcia down the right side. Was able to beat his defender and get that ball across. Squeaked through to Sandoval. One of the things that has been lacking is the quality of service into the box for RSL, and that one finds its mark. And Sandoval with a little shake and bake right on top by the corner of the 6, just not on. Really, that's kind of been the problem. 16, 17 shots last week against Colorado, but only one finds it on frame, and you've got to be able to test the opposing goalkeeper.
John Sturzer does a nice job winning the ball at midfield, and Cam, as we saw in that opportunity for Sandoval, speed of play is going to be the big differentiator between these two teams, and Devin had all kinds of time, several touches on the ball to position himself for that shot.
That was one of Jeremy Horton's keys to the game, is speed of play. How quickly can you move the ball and catch this Sounders team? They've scored a lot of goals in USL play, but they've also given up quite a few.
Phillips nods it down. Sandoval trying to collect, knocked away by Meal. Plata pressuring the Sounders defense. Headed down in the center circle by Pekka. Aquanu rises up. Sounders eventually settle. Number 88, Sam Garza, cuts nicely inside. He's headed towards the top of the box. Tap Boyd Aquanu, and the referee tonight calls his first real foul of the game, and the Sounders 2 are going to have a free kick from about 24 yards out.
And one of the things you have to realize with this tournament is you're not going to get the best referees. You're not getting all MLS referees, and I think that's a questionable call. He goes up to Aquano afterwards and says to calm down, but I actually think that it was a good challenge.
Boyd Aquano starting 4 out of 5 games for the U.S. under-23 team in the recent Toulon tournament.
And he set the wall too far back as well. A good yards back.
Number 55, Rossi, over the ball for S2. So is Sam Garza. It's Rossi, saved by Attinella, parried away to his right. Sounders recycle, and eventually knocked away by the RSL defense. 8th minute, RSL dodges its first real bullet of the night.
It's a great save to his left-hand side by Attinella, and he does the wise thing. He just parries that away.
Jeff Attinella, this is his second U.S. Open Cup game. He was between the pipes last year's match at Atlanta during the World Cup break. RSL missing Mondo, Sabarillo, Grabavoy due to injury or World Cup duty, falling 2-1 on a late Poku goal at Park. Here come the Sounders. 3-on-2. Glad trying to pressure the cross. It gets in. Mond able to get a touch on it, and it'll be an S2 throw here on the near side.
And those two, Glad and Mond, are going to have a busy night if the 3 central Pekka, Sturzer, and Gill keep giving the ball away in their own half. It's just Mond and Glad. Mond able to position himself in the right spot to get enough of that cross to deflect it and keep it going out of bounds over the touchline.
Here's Garza working on Aquanu, eventually cleared away by Sturzer. Olmes Garcia trying to find Sandoval at midfield.
They just don't seem connected yet, do they?
They're not, and are S2 really, and everybody's trying to find the rhythm of this game here as we approach the 10th minute.
I'm surprised RSL hasn't started to high pressure a little further up the field. Garcia, but this is a team that is not accustomed to this altitude.
Right.
And have been prone to be leaky at the back.
Center back Damian Lowe carrying it forward. His pass knocked away nicely by Mond. Garcia playing Gill out wide side. His pass not able to get there. Garza just dumps it into the corner, and it'll be out for an RSL throw-in. And Cam, Glad, and Mond essentially auditioning for more performance as Chris Schuler, Hamas, and a lot had injury problems. Elias Vasquez played 180 for Guatemala the last couple days in their World Cup qualifying tie with Bermuda. Here's an interesting play. Jeff Attinella off his line, clears away as DeMar Phillips goes streaking up the left side. Atnella maybe bailing Glad out a little bit there. There's Garcia trying to play out wide to Phillips. Shielded by number 45, Giuliano Frano, the defender for S2, and it'll be a Sounders goal kick. What I was trying to get to is we may see this same center back Monday in Kansas City if Vasquez has problems getting back from Guatemala, if Olave and Schuler are ready, which we do not expect.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Schuler back. Olave, you would know better than I on that front.
Olave's been working with trainers at the last couple training sessions. Schuler has actually been participating, but he's not going to be 90 minutes fit by Sunday.
No, fitness takes a little while. You were talking, Plata's still trying to find his game fitness. And really, preseason is one type of fitness. Going into a Major League Soccer game in fans in different areas, it's a whole nother ball of wax. It's faster. You saw last year when Beckerman and Nick Raimondo came back from the World Cup, speed was unbelievable because it jumps to another level with the national team. And it's one of those things where unless you see it live and you see how fast the ball moves and how fast these players think, it's like you had talked about at not bailing Glad out, but he definitely Glad was bailed out there, but Pekka had given the ball away at the midfield, and guys have got to move for each other off the ball.
Here are the Sounders trying to get into the corner. Glad plays it back to Atnella. His clearance back to Sturzer. Sturzer wide to Plata. Fields looking for Aquanu. Knotted away by Garza, who's been very, very active here tonight. The 13th minute. Garza trying to go over the top. Mond and Craven battling. Atnella collects, and Sturzer will start for Sturzer. Really nice starts in MLS. Game-winning goal here against Jason Kreis and NYCFC back on May 23rd. Luis Gil gets it wide down the right side. Surveying options. His cross sails over Sandoval's head, past Plata and out for an RSL throw. John Sturzer's kind of been up and down. Didn't have a great game in Vancouver, but bounced back and did really well, I thought, last Sunday against Colorado.
No, he's been inside there, but I think that last cross that we saw from Luis Gil is kind of a compartment. It puts L's woes really in check there. That ball's played wide to Gil, and nobody's busting their butt to help him out to make things easy. Where is RSL so good is when they're able to combine with when it's 10, 15-yard passes, not when they're connecting 20-yard passes. So definitely something that needs to improve, and Sturzer and Pekka need to be a part of that.
Here's Pekka getting a few touches there with Phillips. Eventually back to Sturzer. He's got time and space in the center circle. Finds Gil. Gil elects to go over the top to Garcia. Had a little bit safer option there with Aquanu on the square pass. 14th minute here at Rio Tinto Stadium. About 9,000 fans here for a fourth-round U.S. Open Cup package. This game not part of the RSL season ticket packages in 2018. Both CONCACAF games that RSL will play in August, September will be RSL season ticket package. Sounders eventually trying to settle in midfield. Sturzer fouls. But he's okay. Looking around the Open Cup scoreboard tonight, Cam, New York Red Bulls 3, Atlanta, Philadelphia Union 3-0 in penalties after a 0-0 regulation against Chicago and 0-0 first minute. Sporting Kansas City 1-0 80th minute over St. Louis. Colorado Rapids 2-0 over Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the 51st. FC Dallas 4-0 over Oklahoma City in the 56th. Obviously 0-0 here. San Jose, Seattle Sounders, and Portland Timbers will kick off shortly.
Kind of taking care of business so far.
Yeah, another slew of games tomorrow night. And Cam, we see it every year. There are usually a handful of minor league upsets over the USL teams. Here's Luis Gill. Thing going. Out. Boyd Aquanu. Boyd cuts back left. Sets it back to Sturzer. Sturzer dribbling. Gets dispossessed. But eventually, Joao Plata almost able to settle. Knocked away by Rossi. He's looking for Craven one-on-one with Mond. Craven dribbles around Mond. Finds the corner. He's got no help. He's going 1-on-5, and eventually some Sounders get back into the action here. Seattle back to recycle, trying to work around now the left side as they get numbers forward. Little 1-2 between Craven and Sergio Motamello. Nothing doing, though, as RSL eventually wins it back here in the 17th minute.
And you can see what Sounders' two tactics really are. Lay basically 5 or 9 guys behind the ball and leave Craven up top to maybe get forward on a counterattack. And I think you're going to see that a lot tonight.
Plata able to get to Amadou Gang. Big cross there from Phillips. Can't quite find Sandoval, and it's collected by the goalkeeper, Saif Karawala.
You have the back four of Seattle plus a defensive midfielder. And then really you have 2 forwards listed with Monserrat, but Monserrat's really dropped back into the midfield. And Craven's up top by himself. And that could be of a benefit, and it also could be detrimental.
Tamar Phillips gets pulled for the ball after down the right side by Giuliano Frano. A little bit of a ticky-tack foul, but it'll be a Sounders 2 restart. 18th minute. And Cam, I was going to ask you, how old does it make you feel that Onandi Lowe's son is playing in this game tonight, the center back for S2, Damian Lowe?
I'm still like 7 years old. 4 + 3 is 7, so we'll stick with that.
That stuff doesn't faze you.
You know, it's good to see former players, kids, making an impact.
Here's the new it's a that's side around the left post. F. Atnella goal kick. Oh.
And talk or bad thing for RSL. Sometimes teams leave one forward up, and it kind of lulls you to sleep. You don't have that much to deal with. Mond and Glad really have to watch where Craven is. But, you know, if there's a bad giveaway in an area of the field, the counterattack, Craven's supposed to be a very good finisher.
Sounders doing a nice job stringing together some passes. Damar flying in and knocks off of.
That was definitely a Jamaican challenge there.
Yeah, right. Off of Sergio Motamello, and it's an RSL. Here's Pekka probing. He's being harassed by Rossi. Eventually finds Phillips wide left. Phillips' pass intercepted by Lowe, who's promptly intercepted by Pekka. Sturzer in the center circle finds almost Garcia in a part of the field you're not used to seeing him in.
And I think he's dropping back just to try to find the ball.
Just
so
to
many
get a touch.
Sounders, and once the ball turns over, it's going to be up to Pekka and Sturzer to find a forward ball that's able to spring somebody, because you can build up all day long against these 9. You've got to be better with the ball going forward.
Now, speaking of Pekka, he's trying to find Mond, and a bad pass nearly picked off at midfield by Garza. Eventually Plot it back. Now we've seen both RSL wingers coming just to find the ball, find the game, and help out a little defensively.
Somewhat of a common theme, though, of where the ball is being given away so cheaply by RSL.
Here's Luis Gill picking up on it, trying to find Garcia. He does. Garcia out wide left to Plata. Can he? Yes. Plata on the end line, surveying options. Everybody's stagnant in the box. Eventually, the cross goes in, looking for Gill.
It's almost as the ball gets played into one of RSL's players. It's like, okay, I've done my job. Let that person deal with the ball. Ball that goes to Phillips has supporting him. He's got to bust his butt forward to support that ball. You've got to get guys closer so that you can connect those passes. You're not going to be able to connect 20-yard passes all over the field. That's just not the way the game works. And with the Sounders, too, putting 9 guys behind the ball, your movement off the ball and for your teammates has to increase.
21st minute, 0-0. Here's Andy Craven in the box. Centering pass cleared away by Phillips. Nice setup there by Mansoray. And RSL, the last 10 minutes, Cam, have really been under the majority of the pressure.
Yeah, we talked about which team's going to gel first. Both teams kind of feeling each other out. Like the Sounders, too, have had tons of possession, but they're connecting more passes. They're being patient with RSL's attack, not leaving much for RSL to kind of take.
Yeah, the Sounders haven't had a ton of clear-cut chances, but they've had a ton of half chances as RSL tries to build again out of the back. Here's Ladd. He plays it to his center back partner, Aaron Mond, on the right side. Mond finds Sandoval at midfield. Sandoval settles to Garcia. Garcia dispossessed, no whistle. And eventually Pekka is called for the foul against Craven. Quick restart here for S2. Mansoray carrying the ball forward. Plays wide. Seattle with the short passes on the far side.
Right now into Sounders 2's hands.
DeMar Phillips eventually clears a loose ball out of danger, and it'll be an S2 throw just atop the RSL defensive penalty box. Nice little 1-2. Great cross. Played back, and the shot from, I think, Rossi goes high. Just a gift wrap chance for S2 there in the 23rd minute.
And that ball comes across from Mansoray into Garza. It's good opportunity again for the Sounders. Not able to put anything on frame. But their movement off the ball, their quick movements, have freed them up for a couple of chances now. One of which was a dead ball that was at Nella, makes a nice.
That was Sergio with the last shot atop the box, and just a really nice set of combination passes for Ezra Hendrickson's squad. Big Dev, harassed by Garza, eventually gets the whistle. Aquanu to Sturzer. Sturzer through to, he shields off, back to Gill. Gill pushing forward, pulls the trigger from 25 yards out. It's blocked by the center back, Aaron. Phillips to Plata. Plata pushing towards the box, cuts inside. He's got numbers in front of him, plays over to Gill. Back to Plata. In tight space, Plata finds Phillips, center. And Olmes Garcia cannot get a toe on the ball in front of a relatively empty net there, Cam.
There's a great run by Phillips, but I think he has to have an awareness, maybe not to play that one across the 6, but maybe drop it back for Gill, who was making that penalty spot run. And you hope both players are all right after the collision of that clearance, but that's where we're talking about RSL could have gone up 1-0. If that ball's dropped back a little bit more,
yeah,
you've got a clear-cut goal from Luis Gill. He has the whole goal to shoot at because Carawala was at that near post. And really kind of it summarizes what we were talking about earlier with RSL season. You've got to be able to make the right decisions around the box. And really probably something that a lot of people have been watching, the U.S. women's team, they're having the same problems. Their decisions with the ball around the box kind of mirror what RSL's done. You've got to know where your players are going to be, get your head up and pick those guys out. If somebody's making a far post run. That ball can't be driven through the near post so the keeper can pick it off unless there's a near post runner.
Well, and that's some pretty solid evidence that some of the rust may be coming off of Joao Plata. Really nice combination play there. Olmes Garcia can't quite get on it.
And it was a good run by Phillips. You know, Plata does a great job at the top of the box and then lays that ball right into Phillips' path. But Phillips has got to get his head up and find the open guy there. You talk about speed of play. That's what's supposed to separate MLS from these lower leagues.
Yeah. Sounders 2 goalkeeper Saif Karawala will restart here after probably 90 seconds of stoppages. Olmes Garcia and Long await to re-enter action as we go temporarily 10v10. They're both back on now. Sounders in the center circle, pushing forward, looking for Monserrat. Goes back, finds Craven. Craven out wide right. And Monserrat cannot keep the ball in. It'll be an RSL throw there in DeMar Phillips' left back area.
And this is about the time when adjusting to the altitude makes you suck wind, as you would say. It's about the 25th to 30th minute where you start getting those heavy legs, and maybe your thoughts on what you're going to do betray you a little bit.
Sporting Kansas City, RSL's opponent on Sunday, has gone final with a 1-0 win at home against St. Louis FC. Sporting Kansas City now unbeaten in 9 games across all comps.
They've been good.
They've not lost since mid-April.
I don't think they've been overly impressive offensively, but defensively they've been very, very good.
Aaron Mond's entry pass intercepted, and S2 trying to head back the other way. Aaron Long, the holding mid for S2, wins that ball. They flip sides. A little ball over the top, searching for Craven, nodded away by Glad. Pekka and Sturzer with a little 1-2 to try to get RSL going the other way. Tackled away from Pekka. Sandoval eventually finds Plata. He's going one-on-one, cuts inside, plays it off to Sturzer. Sturzer out wide left to Phillips. Phillips looking for the cross, trying to find Sandoval, chested down by Damian Lowe, and eventually cleared away by S2.
Again, RSL getting the ball in dangerous areas.
Glad battling with Craven. Craven's a big body, and he just slipped and fell on Justin Glad's head while he was prone, as Glad's feet kind of slipped out from under him after he won that ball.
So why doesn't the assistant referee raise his flag there? It's a clear foul, and I understand the play on thing, but the referee was 30 yards away and basically kind of blew that off. I love the Open Cup, Trey.
Yeah.
But my problem with the Open Cup is that we don't have enough qualified officials to referee the games where these players that are on MLS squads sometimes get beaten up. And
yeah.
I've not seen this referee before.
No, I mean, usually they're regional referees. Mm-hmm. They're lower-level assignments through U.S. Soccer. As assistant athletic trainer Tyler Knight checks out Justin Glad here. Glad looks like he'll be okay. Might have tweaked his neck a little bit. Might have a cut on the side of his face there around the ear. We're probably going to have 4 minutes of stoppage, Cam, based on what's transpired here in the first 30.
You would think. You would think.
But again, who knows what decisions these young up-and-coming officials are going to make.
And, you know, obviously you've got to get the experience sometime. That's why over in Europe, these teams have the 4th division, the 3rd division, and the refereeing system has been around for ages. Was Alan Kelly, who's one of the MLS. Yeah. He came over here to be an evaluator per se, and ended up doing games.
And he crossed the picket line when the union struck.
He's the best referee
Absolutely.
in MLS, without a doubt. He's done UEFA Cup games, and again, this referee on this call, he calls it a throw-in for Sounders too, and not that a throw-in is going to make the biggest difference right around midfield, but he's 30 yards away from the play. And sometimes the speed of play catches up with the officials as well.
Craven gets around Glad off of that throw, but Mond paws it away, and there's Sturzer to collect with Pekka. Pekka loses the ball. Craven's back on it. Chips over the top, looking for number 55, Pablo Rossi, and I'm not sure what the whistle is for. Maybe a little high kick.
Yes.
Jeff Attinello restart for RSL. 31st minute, 0-0 at Rio Tinto Stadium. Mond up top. Sandoval battling with Nick Meal. Plata trying to get onto it. Aaron Long dispossesses him. Sturzer battling at midfield. It'll be an S2 throw right on the midfield stripe.
I think Jeff Cassar probably has quite a few talking points going into halftime.
Here's the Sounders throw. Monserrat trying to settle. Plays it back. Nice through ball onto Craven, but Jeff Attinella just a step ahead of the game, coming off his line to usher that pass out of danger. Nice idea there from the S2 folks. Here's Pekka at midfield. Finds Gill. Gill wide left to Sturzer. Sturzer to the left side, finding Phillips. Would like to see Luis Gill a few more touches, maybe try to put a stamp on the game. He's got by far the most starts out of anybody on the field right now. Nearly 120 games played in MLS.
There's no imagination, though, going forward. There's no combination play. There's nobody that is taking the risk to run at Sounders, too. Yeah. And that's really the only way you're going to free up space in this game is if somebody runs at Sounders 2, makes guys come out of position. Because of the 9 guys that are behind the ball, RSL's really got to utilize the field and increase their speed of play.
Nice sequence of passes here for RSL. Everybody getting touches, but as you mentioned, Cam, nobody forcing the issue. Here's Phillips coming down the left. Plays back to Pekka. Yep. Gill tries to pop over the top, looking for Phillips, knocked away by the S2 defender, Giuliano Frano, and it'll be an RSL throw deep in its attacking end. Phillips back to Gill. Gill across to Sturzer. He's got some time and space. Into Garcia, back to Sturz. Kind of a harmless pass into the middle. Recollected. Pekka's pass knocked away. He's back on it. And he plays all the way back to Justin Glad at midfield. Glad to Plata, who's checked back. Plata trying to go over the top. Not enough on it for Aquanu. Nodded away. Collected by Garcia. Garcia pushing in. Here's that run you're looking for. Finds Plata. Plata pulls the trigger from 25, and it's another kind of slow roller that goes just outside the right post. The S2 goalkeeper, Carawalla, had it covered, but you're starting to see some ideas there from Joao Plata.
It's a little bit better. Guys running at the Sounders too, and as you saw, I believe it was Aquanu and Garcia running at the Sounders 2 defense, things opened up a little bit, so Plata was able to find himself at the top of the box and enough room to get a shot off.
34th minute, Phillips to Gill. Gill wide to Garcia. He's trying to dribble through the corner. It's knocked away. It's a quick RSL throw. Garcia will take it. Back to Aquanu. He finds Gill to Sturzer. Aquanu looking for Gill. Gill had gotten shielded away. And it'll be another RSL throw. Aquanu to Garcia. Quick cross, finds Sandoval. He settles. He's getting tugged away on his jersey. But again, Dev, very strong on the hold-up game. Finds Sturzer. Back to Big Dev, 25 yards out. He plays it back to Pekka. Wide right to Aquanu. Garcia. Back to Aquanu. Inside to Sturzer. Sturzer looking for options. Knocked away, but collected by Pekka. As RSL trying to stay in the attacking third, but everybody's facing away from goal. Plays it back to Mond. Mond eventually all the way back to Attinella. who tries to change fields. There's Glad, sorry. Glad, Sturzer, back to Glad. Little two-man game under pressure from Craven and Sergio. Out wide right to Mond. Mond's got time and space. Cuts it through to Sandoval. Sandoval tried to play it to Plata. Eventually settled on the left side by Phillips. And here's Sandoval trying to get off to the races, and the ball's tackled away by Long. Nice tackle there by the S2 defender. RSL midfield, Pekka to Garcia. Garcia taking probably a few too many touches. Eventually gets around wide left. Can't find options, yeah. Cam.
It's been a little bit of his problem when he's started in MLS games, is his decisions with the ball, when to release it and when to hold on to it.
It's not keeping it simple. Wide right to Aquanu. Back to Pekka. Aquanu. You'd like to see somebody dump it into the corner here. Gill's got it. He goes 1-on-3, eventually dispossessed. And S2 trying to get back the other way. Nice defense there from Aaron Long. Pekka whistled for the foul as Mansoure is dispossessed. And it will be an S2 free kick here in the 37th minute. Just inside the midfield stripe. 0-0 at Rio Tinto Stadium. Long ball over the top, chested down by Glad. Craven almost got that. Now Glad has taken a knee. Not sure what the issue is here, Cam, unless he does have a history of concussion problems, Cam, and you hate to see this. Fanuel Kavita, another RSL Academy product, will enter the game here for Justin, who just signaled to the trainers that he's got to come out.
Yeah, if you remember the collision that happened with Craven on the far side, you wonder if that has anything to do with it. I don't think he got hit in the head there. Tried to chest the ball away. Yeah. That's a ball that if you're a center back, you don't try to chest that ball down there, though. So either something's wrong.
He's having the trainer look at his vision right now, and he's acting like he can't quite see what he wants. Obviously, we don't want to speculate, but there will be a substitution here in the 38th minute. Fanuel Kavita, 4-year starter at Clemson, now in his rookie MLS season. Product of the RSL Academy down in Casa Grande. Attended Highland High School here in Salt Lake City. And it'll be Kavita for Glad. And as we saw last Sunday against Colorado, early defensive substitutions will limit Jeff Cassar's attacking options late in the game.
Well, it limits your attacking options, and you also alluded to it earlier with Vasquez not being able to make it back from Guatemala right now. RSL might find themselves short-handed come this Sunday.
Battle in the corner. Craven knocks it off Aquanu, and it'll be an S2 corner kick.
I thought that was off of Craven, to be quite honest. I think the speed of play with this referee, it's sometimes he's missing a few.
Here's the corner for Seattle. Top the box. Nick Meal was there, but he couldn't quite get his head on it. It rolls out for a throw-in at the far side. Corner flag. Phillips into Kavita. Kavita gets his first touch. Phillips clears out of the corner. Looking for Garcia. Nodded away. Settles at the feet of Gill. Gill finding Garcia. And again, Garcia's decision-making just not quite there as S2 collects the loose ball. Long ball over the top, searching for Craven, misplayed, settled by Atnella, and here's Kavita trying to build out of the RSL's back line. 40th minute. Kavita and Sturzer over to Mond. Gill, wide right to Aquanu. Back to Mond. Pressure from Craven. Mond looking for Plata, trying to thread a pass through two people. S2 going the other way. Here's the right back, Aaron Long. Actually, that was Giuliano Frano. Inside to Low. Wide left. Here's Long. He finds Garza under pressure from Aquanu. Garza to Monserrat. Mond pushes Monserrat back. There's a nice idea there, looking for Sergio, but Kavita latches on to the loose ball.
If that ball finds Montemello, it's a good 2-on-1 with Craven up top.
Aquanu down the right line to Garcia. He's shielding off. Plays inside to Pekka. Pekka will keep the ball going left to Sturzer. Sturzer has Phillips. Elects to cut back. Inside to Plata. Weak pass, dispossessed. Sturzer wins it back, though. Back to Gill. But S2 knocks the ball away. Craven trying to get around Aaron Mond, and their feet get tangled. Craven whistled for the foul. It'll be a free kick here for RSL.
Great positioning by Mond on that ball over the top. Craven able to get a touch, but Mond right there to intercept it. This is where RSL needs to catch Sounders 2 with not everybody back.
Plata at midfield, back to Gill. Gill wide left to Phillips. He's inside to Sandoval, back out to Phillips. They're trying to play a little two-man game. And again, the weak return pass almost leads to an S2 opportunity. Gill in midfield. Bypasses Pekka, plays it back to Mond. Mond carrying forward. Again at Gill's feet. Chips it over the top, looking for Garcia, but nodded away by the S2 back line, and they're off to the races. Bad pass collected by Kavita.
You can see Monserrat just doesn't have the wind within him to close the ball down.
Kavita making his RSL debut as well after signing his homegrown contract just days before the January Super Draft. 43rd minute, Mond looking wide right for Garcia. Not even close.
And you might be looking at this and saying Kavita, Glad, Mond trying to stretch the field, but there aren't any other options for these guys to give the ball to. It's stagnant within the midfield of the three, Sturzer, Pekka, and Gill, and then there's not much movement up top from Sandoval, Plata, or Garcia in different areas to make them dynamic.
There's Garcia whistled for the foul. .44th minute. RSL already having to make one sub. Fanuel Kavita in for Justin Glad.
And you had mentioned it not only because it's an early sub, but you've got to remember that this game goes to overtime.
Yeah.
And then goes to penalty kicks if it's still tied after overtime. So
you do have to manage your bench for 120 minutes potentially. And PKs. Aaron Mond at midfield as we approach the 45th minute. He's got time and space. Entry pass to Big Dev. He cuts back, plays Garcia nearby. Garcia inside to Sandoval. Can't quite collect it cleanly. Sturzer finding Plata. Can he get around? No. And eventually shuttled away by the S2 defense. Craven at midfield, plays wide right. Back to Monserrat. Back to Grana. Back to Low. Low trying to deke Plata. The ball adjudged to have stayed inside. Phillips to Pekka. Pekka much too casual on the ball. And here's a 4-on-3 for S2. Wide left, shot, Garza, wide left. And Jeff Adnella wondering where the organization is.
I wonder where it is as well. Sounders, too, when they break out, it's 3, 4, 5 guys that are pushing forward. RSL, it's too stagnant. And you can tell Jeff Cassar and his staff aren't happy with what's going on the field.
4 minutes of stoppage here at Rio Tinto Stadium. S2 and Real Salt Lake. Here's Garcia. He's got an opportunity. Tries to go 1-on-4. He's fouled. He touched the ball with his hand, and that's the call. S2 with the quick restart. Ball played long to Craven. He's 1-on-1 with Kavita. Nearly gets around him. Centers the ball back to Garza. Garza 1-on-1 with Pekka. Cuts in and around. Dispossessed by Mond. And here's Sturzer now to Gill as Gill tries to launch the attack. Garcia trying to get around Nick Meal. He clears it out, and RSL will have the throw in deep in the S2 defensive end.
You could tell Meal wanted his goalkeeper to come out and grab that ball.
Inside to Sandoval. He can't quite get a clean touch. Had Gill there if he could have gotten a little more on it. Aquanu carrying it down the right side, up to Garcia. Back to Sturzer. Square to Pekka. Pekka into Sandoval at the top of the D. Sandoval can't quite keep it on his feet. S2 clear out. And RSL will regroup. About 3 minutes left in the allotted 4 minutes of stoppage time. Obviously, the referee has the option to amend his decision.
I don't see it going too much past 4.
Phillips inside to Sturzer. Sturzer up to Garcia. Garcia looking for Sandoval. He chests it down to Gill. Little two-man game. Gill back to Sandoval. He decides to pull the trigger from 22, and it's blocked by Lowe. Garcia back to Sturzer. Poked away. And here's Monserrat shielding Sturzer. And S2 looking for options as they move forward. S2's done a nice job on several occasions here, Cam, stringing together a dozen passes or so.
Yeah, they do a good job of stringing passes together, and most of their passes have a purpose. I can't say the same for RSL's possession this evening. Too many times the ball just kind of, all right, we're going to keep possession of the ball, but nobody wants to take a hold of an opportunity to get forward.
Here's S2, centering ball into the box, looking for Craven, knotted away by Mond, and it'll be a Seattle throw. As we've got about 90 seconds left of the 4 minutes of stoppage here in the first half at Rio Tinto Stadium. 4th round U.S. Open Cup play. Sounders 2 of the USL at Real Salt Lake of Major League Soccer. Big throw into the box. There's Garza. He settles down. And there's a goal for S2. They have struck first blood as the RSL backline completely confused. 48 plus of the first half. S2 draw first blood.
And Jeff Cassar has to be livid. That's off of a throw-in. That ball doesn't go up in the air. It's a line drive throw-in about chest height that skips once and goes right to Garza. Nice little first touch that beats Kavita and Mond. And then Attanella comes out a little bit too late, and that ball's into the side netting far post.
And that was essentially the final touch of the first half. RSL trailing 1-0 to the lower level S2 side. 1-0. Sam Garza, pretty nice goal, Cam.
Yeah, it was great.
Great individual effort by him.
It looked unbelievable. RSL, no marking at the top of the box. Garza comes all the way from this left side, gathers it right about the top of the D on the right-hand side that Seattle was attacking, takes one touch, that great first touch, perfect first touch that beats Kavita and Mond, and then Attinella comes out and he slots that thing home.
All right, ESPN 700 coverage and the live streaming coverage via ussoccer.com YouTube page embedded across several sites that you're probably watching on. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back. Jeremy Horton, Brian Kamler with your halftime analysis here in the 4th round of Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup play. Sounders 2 of the USL here in the 4th round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup 2015 edition. S2 with the ball here to open the second half, pinging it around nicely, trying to get past DeMar Phillips. They can't. The Jamaican international clears, and it'll be an S2 throw deep in their own territory. Jeff Cassar, should he choose to go to his bench, he's got Alvaro Saborio, Javier Morales, Luke Mulholland, Sebastian Saucedo, Lalo Fernandez, and Tony Beltran. He's already used one sub as Fanuel Kavita came on for Justin Glad as a pair of RSL Academy youngsters swap places at the center back position. Justin Glad hopefully will be healthy enough to not miss too much time here, Cam, after Andy Craven fell on his head in about the 36th minute. Glad continued for 6 or 7 minutes after that.
And yeah, like you said, hopefully everything's okay. Puts RSL in a bad spot possibly this weekend with guys that are injured. And
Devin Sandoval get whistled for a foul here against Amadou Sanyang. Little talking to, no card shown. If that's a foul, Cam, it's got to be a card because the only way he could have gotten him is with his studs. And
Samyang writhes on the ground and then gets right back up. It didn't look like Sandoval even touched him, to be quite honest, from this angle.
So here's S2 with the restart. 48th minute. João Plata, Devin Sandoval, Luis Gil, Olmos Garcia, perennial starters for RSL on the field for Jeff Cassar. John Sturzer, Pekka, DeMar Phillips, Aaron Mond, Fanuel Kavita, and Boyd Aquanu make up the back line in front of Jeff Attinella. 50-plus MLS starts on the field for Real Salt Lake against the minor league visitors. Bad pass there from Aquanu. He tracks back, wins the ball back from Craven at the top of the S2 attack. Phillips on the left side to Plata, and Phillips is confused and eventually dispossessed.
And Phillips has the ball there, and he's waving Plata back. That's got to be where Phillips takes that space himself. Drive the ball up, take that space, make somebody commit to you. If they don't, keep going. But the way that this stagnant offense, and Jeff Cassar's hands kind of played for him, because you can't somebody in at the beginning of this half to inject a spark because you've already made that one sub for Glad earlier on.
Well, and S2 applying even heavier pressure against RSL here in the early going of the second half than we saw throughout the first. Phillips looking for Garcia, finds him in the corner. Garcia with the cross, lofted, not dangerous, no one's there, and it's collected by the keeper, Carawala.
And to be quite honest, with the movement of RSL and the way that they're playing, it almost looks like a street ball kind of thing. You know, they're waiting for somebody to do something special instead of really kind of doing what Sounders 2 are, and that's applying a lot of pressure going forward.
Craven chests it down, ball won by Pekka at midfield. He plays it over to Garcia. Garcia looking for Plata, down to Sandoval. Plata wide, in between Gil and Aquanu. There's confusion, and won and nodded away by S2.
That was a bit more promising with that ball. Sandoval just missing his mark with Gil. But those are the types of attacks that need to take place for RSL to break through this Sounders 2 defense.
Sandoval battling with Nick Meal. and it goes out. It'll be an S2 throw here. 50th minute. It's win or go home here in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Disgruntled 9,000 here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Long ball over the top. Craven can't get there. Jeff Atnella plays wide to DeMar Phillips.
And I know fans are a bit disgruntled, and I think they have a right to be. A side as talented as RSL is, with no shots in the first half.
Sturzer trying to push the pace. Finds Aquanu in the right corner. Back to Sturzer. He's got Pekka in the middle atop the box. Pekka's cross to no one, cleared away. Sturzer trying to win the ball again, battling with Pekka. He emerges. He's got Plata wide left. And here's Zhao one-on-one, and he loses the ball at the top of the box. Phillips tracks down a loose ball at midfield, plays it back to Aaron Mond. As you mentioned, Cam, 0 shots on goal for RSL in the first half, 2 for Seattle. 1 saved very ably by Atnella, 1 ending up in the back of the net. Here's Garcia trying to go 1-on-2, and he's dispossessed by Lowe. Tracks it back down.
But as he has the ball there's got to be somebody. People had the defenders had gravitated towards Sandoval. Somebody's got to be making those runs in behind.
Aquanu tries to go 1-on-3, and he loses the ball to Sanyang. S2 trying to get out of its own half. Sturzer settles. He's looking for Plata. Plata one time finds Garcia in the box. Garcia goes down. Ball is still alive. Sandoval getting on it. Squirting all over the box. Eventually cleared by S2 as the fans thought there should have been a penalty kick. Here's Phillips flying. Sturzer flying. And he's going to get a yellow card here in the 53rd minute as Monserrat is chopped down by John Sturzer.
And I thought Garcia had an appeal for a penalty there. Obviously, there's a bit of an argument there. Monserrat, my guess is he's making a meal of this. I'm not doubting that was a yellow card tackle by Sturzer. You could see his legs come up into the air.
Yep.
On Monserrat, but I think he's made a little bit of a meal of being down on the ground. He was the player that took the dive earlier, trying to get Sandoval a yellow card.
Yep. Olmes Garcia now going over to the linesman, trying to plead his case for the foul that he thought happened in the box. And to be honest, Cam, I think Garcia has a tendency to go down very lightly.
Yes.
Not that these referees are aware of his reputation, so
the referees would probably be more aware of his reputation as opposed to the reputation on a Sounders 2 player, just because of what you're able to find on the internet on MLSsoccer.com or different highlights throughout the league. But the problem is this referee sometimes has not been the closest to the play to make the decision. And, again, it's about the angles all over the field.
So here we are now in the 54th minute. S2 restart, up 1-0. Collected by Sturzer at midfield. He plays wide, and he's cleaned out. No call. And here's Giuliano Frano streaking ahead. Sturzer still tangled up with
I don't
the
understand
S2
how that's
player
not a foul.
Rossi. And it'll be an S2 corner once play resumes. Jeff Cassar absolutely livid with the fourth official. But again, no call.
You can say that Rossi didn't mean to hit him, but way back, intent is taken out. It doesn't matter whether you intend to hit Sturzer there. If you run into him, it's a foul.
Here's the S2 corner. Goes over everyone, and it'll be out for an RSL goal kick. 55th minute. Seattle with 2 corners on the night. RSL, none. As Jeff Atnella tells everybody to get forward. And he's looking for options. He plays it to Sturzer. Craven applying pressure. Wide left, eventually to Kavita. Kavita carrying it forward. Phillips over the top, looking for Plata. Plata shielded away by Damian Lowe. He's down. There's no call. And the crowd that is here is going absolutely nuts as Javier Morales pulls on a jersey. He'll be coming on momentarily for RSL.
He missed that one. Shoulder was lowered, elbow to the face there.
Dan Barlow in the 4th official's face, the assistant coach there, strength and conditioning coach. Things getting chippy and heated. Javier Morales talking defensive assignments, it appears, with Daryl Shore as he approaches the 4th official's table. 57th minute, S2 up 1-0, applying a ton of pressure on the ball.
I could see RSL with Morales coming in, going to a 4-4-2 as well.
I know everybody wants to talk tactics and formations. Those are not the issues here tonight for RSL.
Well, I don't think they've been the issue throughout the year. It doesn't matter what formation RSL plays. They need to do better going forward.
Aquanu to Gill, Sturzer, Pekka. Wide left to Phillips. Inside to Gill, out wide to Plata. Plata has options. Phillips on the left touchline. Whips in across, looking for Sandoval, off the crossbar. Ball still alive. Sturzer shot from the top of the box, cleared out. Pekka settles to Phillips. Phillips inside to Plata. He dummies it into Sandoval, off Garcia. Phillips at the corner of the box, centers. Garcia slips. Sturzer settles. He's 35 yards from goal, finds Gill. Gill dribbles in. He pulls the trigger from 20, and it's wide right.
That's better. That
is better.
That's what RSL should have been pulling in the first half. There's a sense of urgency to the way that they're going forward. The runs off the ball, supporting everybody is better.
Jeff Cassar entering. Javier Morales into the match. Pekka, the Brazilian defensive midfielder, coming out. You can hear the crowd. It'll be interesting to see if Gill moves back or Morales and Gill share space in front of Sturzer.
It looks like Sturzer's going to sit back behind Morales and Gill, and I think it gives Gill somebody and Morales to play off of.
Craven in behind, but he's whistled offside as the ball goes through. He chipped over the bar anyway. But Craven's been impressive to me tonight, Cam, with his dipping, his moving, his bobbing, his weaving, and he's confused the young RSL center backs.
Yeah, he's pretty deceptive. He's pretty quick for a guy his size, and he's done a great job of holding the ball up. I can see why Ezra Hendrickson told me to kind of keep an eye on that guy.
Morales gets his first touch here in the 59th minute. He's trying to orchestrate where guys should be. Plata checks back, gets the ball. He's got Morales and Phillips wide left. Morales plays up to Phillips. Several players in the box, and his cross goes wanting as it sails over the crossbar.
And again, it's better, but that final ball has to improve from Phillips into the box. Even if that ball is just laid up in the air right around the penalty spot, make Sounders 2 defend it.
But if all you do is sit outside and cross, you're going to be easy to defend.
Oh, without a doubt.
If you never dribble to the line, if you never cut inside and go to the corner of the box, the defense will know exactly what you are going to do time and time again. Quick restart for RSL. Sturzer, Phillips, Morales. Wide left again to Phillips. Back to Sturzer. Finds Morales in the center circle. Out right to Mond as the crowd starts to get a little lively here. Morales into Garcia. Back to Morales. He goes over the top, finds Gill. Gill tries to cross. Aquanu, who is wide right, knocks it back. Sturzer, Kavita to Mond. Morales. Inside to Plata. Plata bouncing off of people. He goes wide right to Aquanu. Aquanu's cross is blocked out. It'll be an RSL throw here in the 61st minute.
You can see the difference that Morales makes to this team with the way he's able to calm things down and get runs off the ball.
There's a cross from Aquanu looking for Sandoval. He's battling, knocks heads with Lowe. Ball is still alive, but the referee whistles dead ball as Lowe is on the ground holding his head. Sandoval also slow to get up.
And you saw a little bit of the creativeness, and we saw Gill a little bit more creative with the ball too. Morales dropping in to get the ball from Kavita. Kavita then gives him the ball. Morales is able to find Gill out wide, and it's almost like Gill wants to make
Plata and Lowe. Plata still upset on the non-call on the end line about 6 minutes ago. Handbags at 20 paces, Cam, and Lowe may have a 1.5 feet on Plata, but Joao doesn't care.
I like it. I like what Plata's doing now. Get a little spark into this game. It needs it.
And here's the S2 keeper with the restart. Looking for Craven. Craven battling with Phillips. Nodded away for an RSL throw. 62nd minute. Here's Craven at the top of the box, trying to get around, plays it back to Monserrat. He lays it back off the right post. And S2 was inches away from being up 2 goals here at Rio Tinto Stadium.
Another bad giveaway by John Sturzer deep in RSL's half. Great little combination play. Again, it involves Craven laying the ball off. And that right post. Great chance for Sounders 2 to go up 2-0.
Sturzer trying to find Sandoval over the top. Collected by S2. Here's Lowe. He's getting booed. He plays a long ball. Settled by Kavita, who heads it down instead of just chesting it down. Straight to Monserrat. He tries to go through to Craven. Knocked away by Kavita. Eventually intercepted by Phillips, and here's Morales. Morales, long ball over the top into the right corner, searching for Garcia. Can he get there? He does. He battles. He gets around. He's got options. There's Plata. Plata with the equalizer. 64th minute, Joao Plata. That play started from Javier Morales. Set up by Olmes Garcia. And finished by RSL's leading scorer from a year ago.
Well, first of all, it's the work of Garcia that makes this play. That ball's given to Morales. Morales drives that diagonal ball towards the right corner flag. And Garcia able to muscle, I believe it was Aaron Long, off the ball. And then we talked about his decisions, Trey. His decisions need to get better. He does a great job of laying that ball right into the path of Plata.
Ezra Hendrickson making a substitution for S2 as Duncan McCormick comes on for Sam Garza, who I thought had a very good game.
Agreed.
For the USL side. Plata fouled, gets elbow in the back of the head on the restart. Luis Gil and Sergio pushing each other a little bit. Javier Morales will restart here just inside midfield. Sturzer, Gill, wide to Mond. Mond inside to Sturzer. Sturzer looking for Plata. He's cleaned out by Lowe. Nice defensive anticipation there. It'll be an RSL throw-in. about 40 yards from their own goal.
And then Mon does the smart thing there. Actually, that was, yeah, Aaron Mon does the smart thing, letting his outside back take that. Don't throw that ball in and give the ball away in a bad area.
'66 minute, Luis Gil at midfield. Wide right to Javi Morales. He's looking for Sandoval. Sandoval in low battle, but the S2 keeper, Carawala, collects. So Sandoval goes off the crossbar early second half that could have equalized. S2 off the post that could have put them up 2. And then just literally seconds later, Cam, Joao Plata knots things up here 1-1 at Rio Tinto.
It's starting to get a little physical on the field. Guys are getting a little upset. Like to see this intensity. This is the kind of intensity that we're accustomed to seeing from RSL. And then Javier Morales comes onto the field and possession gets better. The movement off the ball gets better.
Sandoval checks back. He plays it to Morales. Morales dekes McCormick. He's got a Kwanu wide. Big cross in the box. Plata's there, and it goes off the keeper's hands right on the end line. He bobbles it, but makes the save.
And what I love is that Plata puts that on goal. He doesn't try to just tuck it in the corner. It would have been nice to tuck it in the corner, but again, he makes the goalkeeper make the save. In the first half, no shots on goal. This second half, 2 or 3 shots that Carawala has had to make. And you've got to feel like the momentum has swung RSL's way.
When the shortest guy in Major League Soccer is getting his head on crosses inside the 6, that's a good sign for RSL. There's the foul call. Plata goes down. Foul on Giuliano Frano here. A little too far out for Morales to shoot directly off this free kick from about 28 yards. But it'll be a good opportunity for RSL to get their bodies in the box.
And this is one of the areas where we've seen Javier Morales drop that ball so it bounces right at the top of the 6 and is continuing towards that back post. You need those runners to freeze that goalkeeper on the line. That way, if you get a piece of it, great. If not, that ball gets tucked in to the far post with the runners across the face of Carawala.
68th minute, here's the free kick. He goes far post over everybody. Aaron Mon getting tangled, but still too high from Morales. 1-1 at Rio Tinto Stadium. Sacramento Republic right now the lone minor league team to hold a lead over an MLS opponent in tonight's 4th round of U.S. Open Cup play, as every other MLS team has won thus far. RSL knotted 1-1. 69th minute here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Goals from Sam Garza and Joao Plata. Here come S2. Phillips able to recover to keep Rossi from getting around him. Nervous pass there from Jeff Attinella.
Yeah, a little bit of pace on that one.
Plata at midfield to Morales. Checks back to Plata. Morales to Sturzer. Plata, Morales. Back heel, wide left to Phillips. Tries to play Plata into space. Deflected by Lowe. And everybody in the stadium wants to know, how is that not an direct kick on the back pass? And here it's going to be. Javi trying to set up the quick restart. The referee will try to assume some control here.
And Ezra Hendrickson's arguing that it was deflected back there as well.
And there was a deflection.
Yeah, there was.
And the referee initially made the decision no call.
Yeah.
And he was talked into it by the RSL players. S2 players still arguing with the referee on the end line inside the goal here. We'll figure out where the placement. Yellow card given to I'm not sure who that is. I think that is Sanyang.
I agree.
Yeah, Amadou Sanyang given the yellow here, presumably for dissent, in the 70th minute.
Well, you could feel this referee losing
Yeah.
control of this game towards the end of the first half.
S2
and
with
it's
the
only escalated.
5-man wall inside on their goal line. Now 6, including the goalkeeper.
And you've got to remember, this is an indirect free kick, so this ball has to touch somebody else before it goes into the goal. So it either has to touch another player on Sounders 2 or somebody on RSL.
Aaron Mond will be the lone RSL player in that 8-man now wall in the goal mouth. Plata, Sandoval, Morales awaiting the first touch. The goalkeeper preparing to rush.
I don't understand why the referee doesn't have it.
Morales with the goal in the 71st minute.
It's a great finish.
It really
But
was
it-
a
what a-
seeing eye finish there for the maestro, Javier Morales.
And what I was going to say is Sounders 2 didn't have their guys 10 yards from the ball. And Javier Morales, little touch from Plata, just places that one on the ground, far post. It's a great finish.
The S2 players have absolutely lost the plot, and I can't criticize them. Ezra Hendrickson arguing with the fourth official as well. He's actually cooler, calmer, and more composed than the players who feel extremely hard done.
I thought there was a deflection off that ball. If there's a deflection and that goes to the keeper,
Well,
no matter how hard it was played
I
back.
think it's the indecision of the referee more than
Yeah.
anything. And Cam, watching the replay of the Morales go-ahead goal here, if you're going to have that many people in the goal mouth, why wouldn't you have somebody on the far post?
No, I don't
It's
understand
easy
why
for me
everybody
to sit
was
here and
back.
second guess.
It's not something that a lot of teams practice either, as
No,
far
of
as where
course.
you're going to play
I mean,
something like
you
that.
see those once every few years.
Yeah.
73rd minute, RSL up 2-1 at home, breathing a collective sigh of relief. Everyone associated with the club, as well as the 8,208 people here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Adnella searching for Sandoval. He and Lowe get mixed up. No call. Craven settles. Knocked away by Sturzer. And Aaron Mond will regroup for RSL.
This is not over by any means.
No.
A sub is coming in for Sounders 2. I expect it to get a little bit more physical on both sides of the ball.
Javi dispossessed at midfield by Sergio. Sergio holding his head as he is hip checked by Javier. Ezra Hendrickson will make his second substitution of the night as number 54, Diego Silvas, enters for Pablo Rossi. 74th minute on that sub. It'll be an RSL throw deep in their own territory. Boyd Aquanu, the right back, collecting.
And I'd suspect that we'll see Ezra Hendrickson make another sub here come before the 80th minute to kind of throw all his guns forward to see if they can't tie this game up.
Morales plays it wide to Plata. Back to Morales in the center circle. Wide left to Phillips. Out to Plata. Into Morales. Gill. Plata. Tries to play back to Morales. Deflected nicely by the defense. Morales regathers. Morales fouled there by Sergio. helped up by Monserrat. 75th minute.
This is a good area. Javier Morales chipping that ball to the back post, maybe for Mon, Garcia, or Sandoval.
Sturzer restarts to Morales, wide left to Phillips, back to Morales, into Gill. Gill to Morales at the top of the box. He chips over, looking for Phillips. Phillips wasn't quite ready for it and collected harmlessly by the S2 goalkeeper, Saif Karawala. Looking for Craven. Phillips knocks it out of bounds. It'll be an S2 throw here in front of the RSL bench. Grana to Silvas. Trying to go over the top to Craven. Jeff Attinella has it. Under pressure from Craven. Tosses to Kavita. Gill back to Kavita.
And just because RSL has gotten this lead, the movement up top, the want of winning this game has to keep going through the 90th minute. The Sounders, too, kind of were asleep the first half.
Morales looking long for Garcia. Confusion a little bit there in the back, but eventually cleared away for an RSL throw by the center back, Aaron Long. Sorry, that's Nick Meal again. Phillips with the throw into Morales. Morales trying to cut it back to Plata. Knocked away by Frano, but eventually knocked out by S2. It'll be an RSL throw at the center stripe. Phillips dummied by Plata. Morales has it, 3-on-3. Morales cuts it wide left to Plata. He's in alone. Tries to go 5-hole on Karawala, and it's out just wide, past the right post. It'll be an RSL corner kick.
And that's the combination play that RSL fans have been craving over the last 2 or 3 months. Once Plata got back, is how was he going to connect with Sandoval? How was he going to connect with Saborio, Garcia, and Morales? And you see right there, the runs off the ball, the options that Morales has.
Morales trying to get the fans involved before this corner kick here. Looking for Sturzer off of Mon's head, eventually settled by Plata atop the box. He recycles, looking for Garcia, out to Gill, back to Morales in the corner. He cuts it in, inside to Gill. Gill with the right-footed shot, parried away nicely by Karawala as Luis Gill attempts from 22 here in the 79th minute.
And that's a little combination play that you like to see from your two attacking midfielders. Morales a little deke, lays that one off to Gill at the top of the box, and Gill with a little feint himself off of his left foot to set his right foot up. Karawala very good with the task, tipping that one over the bar.
It's amazing to me, Cam, and it shouldn't be, how much better Luis Gill looks when he has Javier Morales to combine with. Much less how Plata, Garcia, Sandoval, and Sturzer all look.
Yes.
In-swinger on the Javier corner, knocked away. Eventually won by Craven just inside the S2 half. McCormick getting confused. Dispossessed. Morales down the right wing. He crosses, looking for Sandoval, just a little too strong. And there's Silvas to win possession for S2. Monserrat and Kavita battling. Kavita whistled on the foul. The quick restart by Frano, snuffed out by Phillips. It'll be another restart here for S2.
It's amazing where restarts have come from. I remember back in the first 2 years of the league, Marco Echeverri would just nail it into whoever was there. If you didn't give him 10 yards, it was a yellow card.
Sandoval placing the S2 back line under pressure. Kirawala whips it around. Eventually finds Frano on the right side. He's trying to go over the top to Silva. Silvas can get around Phillips and does. Eventually knocked away by Mon, but right to Monserrat. He's one-on-one with Kavita. Cuts to his right, sets up Silvas again. Back to Frano. He finds Craven right in front of goal. And Craven just can't get enough wood on it to threaten Jeff Atnella here in the 81st minute.
And that's one that Craven's going to see in his sleep tonight. And it's a run that RSL backs have had trouble keeping track of. The run from the far post to the near post that splits the two middle defenders of Kavita and Mond.
Again, 81st minute, Javier Morales has changed the tempo, the tone, the voice, everything associated with this match. Aaron Mond looking for options out of the back, finds Plata in the center circle. He plays it back to Morales. Sturzer, wide right to Aquanu. All this happening right in midfield. Morales eventually over the top, looking for Garcia, nodded away by Aaron Long. The ball almost finds Sandoval. And it'll be an RSL throw.
RSL's done a better job since Morales has come on with keeping possession, but I think there's been a lack of energy after RSL got the go-ahead goal.
Here's Aquanu with the early entry into Sandoval. He's battling with Lowe and snuffed out of danger by Kirawala. Here come S2. 82nd minute, searching for the equalizer. Monserrat and Plata. Sturzer applying pressure. Gill in the mix as well, as S2 knocks it around nicely. Back to Lowe in the center circle. Sanyang. Sanyang, the captain for S2. Eventually won by Sturzer. He finds Gill. Gill finds Plata, and RSL back off to the races. Plata down the left side at the corner of the box. Little step over, looking for the cross. He's knocked down. There's no call. A second player comes through. Plata and the RSL faithful want a call. There is none. And Craven, the target man up top for S2, eventually dribbles out of bounds.
And then he gets the foul.
Yeah, and wins a foul off Kavita. The fourth official, who's about to permit Alvaro Sabarillo to enter here in the 84th minute. Presumably, well, there it is for Olmes Garcia. Jeff Cassar has liked what he's seen so far this year with Sabarillo and Sandoval together up top, usually in a 4-4-2. Garcia shakes the referee's hand on his way off the field and asks him, no penalty?
Yeah, I would ask the same question, and then the referee turns his head too quickly and misses a great open field tackle by Sounders 2 on Plata.
With Plata's goal earlier, he moves into that five-way tie atop RSL's all-time U.S. Open Cup Golden Boot race with Sandoval, Beckerman, Williams, and Kreis.
Be nice to see a lot more goals put on the board by those players with a deep run into the Open Cup.
85th minute. Jeff Cassar has used 3 subs tonight. An early defensive one as Fanuel Kavita comes in for the injured Justin Glad, who I presume it's a good sign that he's still sitting on the bench here an hour later.
I didn't even notice him down there because he's in street clothes now.
Javier Morales and now Alvaro Sabarillo coming on here in the second half as RSL has been able thus far to erase a 1-0 halftime deficit to the USL Sounders 2 and take a 2-1 lead here, 85th minute. Atnella's punt goes up over the top, and it'll be an S2 throw here in front of the RSL bench. Settled by Mansoure. He searches inside. He's got somebody on the left. One-on-one with Aquanu. The cutback. And a nice save there by RSL keeper Jeff Attanella as Sergio Motamello, left-footed offering, was on frame.
I thought Duncan McCormick could have taken that ball and really attacked Aquanu on that right side.
Morales over the top, thought he had Sabo. Sabo has to let it sail and then collect. Sabo playing a little two-man game here with Plata on the left side. Back to Phillips, Morales, Morales into Plata. Plata has Gill and Sabo. He plays into Sabo. Sabo wide left to Phillips. Nice idea, but the S2 keeper, Kirawala, off his line very ably to thwart that chance.
It's a great little combination play. You can tell Sounders 2 sucking a little air.
Yeah, usually 75th minute is when the altitude gets to the visitors here. S2 trying to play long to Silvas, but the ball sails out. It'll be an RSL throw here. In the 87th minute. 8,208 the official attendance here at Rio Tinto Stadium in the fourth round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup 2015 edition. Phillips, kind of a weak throw. Won by Morales. Nice little Cruyff to get out of danger. Plata up top to Sabo. Back to Gill. Gill's got Plata. Plata has Phillips now down the left side. Phillips with the cross, looking for Sabo. And again, Kirawala comes off his line to grab that cross.
And I think Phillips was trying to go back post to Saborio. If that ball's floated a little bit more, that might have reached him.
Morales with the interception. Plays it to Gill. Sturzer. Sturzer back to Kavita. Kavita wide left here to Phillips. Had the option to play Plata into space. Instead, Plata checks back. Phillips back to Kavita under pressure from Craven. Sturzer under pressure from Mansoure. And there's Aaron Mond at the center circle. Back to Morales. Morales trying to find Sandoval. Knocked away by S2, and now they're looking for Craven to go the other way. He can't handle the pass, and Aaron Mond resets with Jeff Attanella.
I don't mind the long negative ball, but that ball I would much rather be played into the corner. Let Sandoval, Saborio, or Plata chase that down.
Sabo wins the ball, plays it back to Morales. Morales back to Sabo. He tries to go 1-on-3, is dispossessed, but eventually tracked down here by Luis Gill. Gill to Sturzer. Back to Gill. Sturzer in the center circle. Morales. Gill. Morales. Gill. Morales cleaned out there a little bit by Sanyang, who apparently did not get the earlier yellow because that would have been his second. It must have been Mansoure with the earlier yellow during the scuffle that preceded the indirect free kick. Ezra Hendrickson makes his final sub of the night. Tosh Samkange in for Sergio Motamello as we enter the 90th minute. Here's Plata going one-on-one with Lowe. Little cross into the box, almost spun around Nick Meal, but he does a nice job to cut that off because Sabo was right there. Phillips to Morales in the center circle. Morales recycles all the way back to Attanella. Attanella with the long boot, looking for Sandoval. Check down. Headed back to Mond. Mond over the top. Sabarillo can barely get a touch on it. Finds Sandoval. He checks back, settles, wins it, and he's whistled for the foul.
It's unreal.
Against Sanyang. Bit of a puzzler there.
And Sandoval kicks the ball to the referee. I'm surprised it wasn't a yellow, to be quite honest with you.
I didn't see the stoppage.
I didn't either. I want to say 3.
3 minutes of stoppage. Thank you, Mr. Chidsey. RSL trying to hold on to a 2-1 home lead over the USL side, Sounders 2. It'll be an S2 free kick on the foul, far side touchline, as S2 gets everybody up in the box. Long ball, attacked by several RSL players, almost deflects off Sturzer, but eventually cleared away by Mond.
And it was a poor service.
Goes off the S2 keeper, Kirawala, who I think has had a pretty fantastic game, Cam.
Yeah, it's been
It'll
solid.
be an RSL throw. They'll try to milk the clock here. Plata back to Sturzer. Out wide left to Sandoval. He'll track it down in front of the RSL bench. Plays back to Phillips. Kavita. Kavita looking for Adenella, and there's a lot of high pressure on the keeper. He boots it out, looking for Sandoval. Finds him at midfield. Phillips, Gill, Morales, Sabarillo, wide right to Aquanu. Nicely done.
You could tell by the way Sabarillo hit that ball. He wanted to get a service into the box.
Gill, Sabarillo, checks back over the top, looking for Plata. Broken up by S2 very nicely by Damian Lowe and Amadou Sanyang. McCormick trying to get out of pressure, does. As Lowe boots it long and eventually collected by Atenella.
Well, it wasn't pretty tonight, Trey.
No.
It wasn't pretty at all, but you get the result. You battle through things.
Sabarillo pressuring Meal as S2 try to cycle one more chance. Instead, it rolls harmlessly out of bounds for an RSL throw. Sorry, Cam.
No, I think Jeff Cassar learned a lot about his team, about who's going to be part of his 18 coming up with Gold Cup call-ups and going into playoff time, guys that are able to help this team out. And RSL is able to squeak by in this one.
RSL wins it. There's the final whistle. 2-1. Come from behind win. As you mentioned, Cam, it was ugly. And the S2 side probably feels harshly done. Several of the players approaching the referee now for S2 and receiving red cards. Ezra Hendrickson absolutely losing his mind now. Extremely upset.
I think he has a little bit of a right to be. The problem is, and Dunny talks about this on his broadcast, Jeremy and I talk about it along with Bill, is the consistency of a referee through 90 minutes. We talk about players being consistent, but that the referees were not consistent throughout this match. You didn't know what was a foul, what was a foul, what was going to be called, or what the referee was really even thinking.
8,208 fans here at Rio Tinto Stadium tonight. RSL will find out its fate for the round of 16. That draw will be held Thursday morning, Cam, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Central. There will be a live stream on ussoccer.com. RSL escaping with a 2-1 win over the lower division S2 Seattle Sounders FC USL side here at Rio Tinto Stadium. All MLS sides have advanced earlier this evening. New York Red Bulls 3-0 over Atlanta. Philadelphia Union in a shootout over Rochester. Chicago Fire 1-0 over Louisville. Sporting Kansas City 1-0 over St. Louis FC. Colorado Rapids 4-1 over the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. FC Dallas 4-1 over OKC Energy. RSL winning 2-1. And the San Jose Earthquakes right now the lone MLS side to be trailing 2-0 54th minute at home against Sacramento. We'll keep an eye on that one. The other game in action, the visiting Portland Timbers have taken a 1-0 lead at Starfire over the Seattle Sounders MLS side. So we'll keep an eye on all that as we take a break here on ESPN 700. We'll be back with post-game coverage live from Rio Tinto Stadium, where Javier Morales with a goal, the game winner, as well as an assist to Joao Plata as RSL escapes 2-1 in Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup action.
Thank you for being part of tonight's RSL victory. Remember to bring your ticket stub into Domino's Pizza in the next 7 days for a buy one, get one free deal on any pizza. Every time RSL wins, you win thanks to Domino's. The Real Monarchs next home match is on Wednesday, July 1st against local native Justin Braun in the Sacramento Republic at 7 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action as the Monarchs battle the defending league champions. Visit realmonarchs.com or call 801-727-2700 for tickets. You can find the most affordable seats in town at Valley Fair Mall. Tune into ESPN 700 Sports Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 for the Bill and OC Show and all the latest RSL news and information directly from RSL players, front office staff, and head coach Jeff Cassar. Catch every RSL game, home and away, and be sure to listen to tonight's post-game show on ESPN 700. For the safety of pedestrians departing Rio Tinto Stadium, we ask that you please cross State Street at the Stadium Road at 9270 South. Jaywalking is prohibited across State Street. Please get home safely. Thank you.